Hey guys, what's up, Cardfight here, and today I'm here with a Touken Ranbu deck profile, aka Sword Husbandos. Some of you guys have been asking for this, so you know I'm just gonna post this up. It's a pretty niche deck. Now I don't see a lot of people using this deck, but it is actually pretty powerful. It hits for pretty nice numbers, and it's also got pretty nice strides to use. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. So for the starting Vanguard, we are running this guy. I believe his name is Yamanbagiri Kunihiro, and his skill is kind of +1. When this card boosts a unit with MVP, with MVP skill, yes, you may pay the cost if you do. During this battle, this guy gets +3000 power and a new ability. Put this card to his soul. When this card boosts his unit at the end of the battle, you may give one unit +5000 power. So he's a pretty flexible unit to use. Since you're running a grade 2 with 7000 power, you might want him to make it so that you hit for a better number if you're not doing so. So he's pretty good for that, and he's also pretty suave looking, so you know, bonus points for that. Next, for the grade 3s, we are running 3 Tsurumaru Kuninaga. He has the MVP ability, and his skill is so last one. When this card attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, countercharge 1, and choose a grade 3 from your drop zone and add it to your hand. He's probably like the best grade 3 you can use in this deck. I would run 4, but I only pulled 3, and I don't want to go find another one. I would run 4 otherwise. But another really important thing he has is the stride break. His stride break is during a turn when you stride with a G unit, you may soul charge 1 and choose 2 units, and during this turn they get +3000 power. So you just pretty much use him to set up your combos, because this deck is pretty soul blast heavy, so getting that extra soul charge every time you stride is pretty helpful. And then you also get a bonus 3000 power, which again helps with what's his face, this guy. So you can make him into a 10k attacker, which is pretty standard, or not standard, but you know, you hit for a better number. Next, we are running 3 Kogetsu Nemaru. His skill is also MVP, and so last one, when this card attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, check the top card of your deck, and you can either put it in the top or bottom, and then you can draw a card. So basically, you can YOLO and just check what card it is. If it's something that you need, then you feel free to draw it. If it's not something you need, just put it back to the bottom of your deck. Or most of the time, if you see something like actually really this depends on the situation, but yeah, basically you're gonna draw a card either way, but you'll know which card you could draw, so it's quite nice. Second skill is kind of +1. When a rear guard with MVP ability attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, that unit gets +3000 power. You barely use this ability, but it's there if you need it. So yeah, this guy, he's okay, I guess, if your opponent's trying to grade 2 lock you, then this guy is definitely a very powerful option to have. So yeah, it's pretty good. The thing about this deck is it doesn't have anything that uses generation break, so you won't be susceptible to grade 2 rushes, or grade 2 locks. So a lot of time your opponent won't do grade 2 locks unless they can't guard against this guy. Then they'll probably grade 2 lock you. But yeah, let's get to the next card. So this guy is Toki Tombo Kiri, and he has the Shinken Hizatsu ability. So basically, that's Limit Break 3. I like to call it Limit Break 3, but I guess everybody else likes to call it Limit Break 3. But basically, its ability is when this unit gets attacked, you can Counter Blast 1, Soul Charge 1, or Soul Blast 1. If you do, you will pay the cost. If you do, this card gets plus 2,000 power. Yeah, this card gets this turn. This unit gets plus 2,000 power. So basically, you can turn him into a cross ride if you need to. This really is really helpful sometimes because your opponent has some shitty columns, like 16k columns, and then which is a normal column, but you know, sometimes if you don't have cards to guard with your hand, then you just pop his effect off and you can drop less cards. Because if they attack you with 16k, you can just drop 5k, and it's pretty good. His second ability is when this card attacks, during that battle, your opponent cannot call grade zeros to the Guardian Circle. So he doesn't have any ability that boosts his attack power, but you could swing for 21k, which your opponent will normally have to drop 20k guard for 2 to pass. And basically, they're probably going to drop a perfect guard for this guy if they need to guard. And that leaves them for less perfect guard to guard with when you stride. So it's good. That's only if you can't stride that turn. So he's a pretty situational card, but I like it. So I'm taking him at 2. If I had 4 of this guy, I would run 2 of this, 2 of this, and this card would be that. So that would be my ideal lineup. But since I have only 3 of this guy, I'll be running 3-3-2, which is still okay. Next, we're running 3 Shishio. He has Shinken Hisatsu and Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1. Choose a card from your hand and discard it. When this card attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw 2 cards. And basically, he also has another passive ability, and basically he has resist basically, except I don't know why I don't. Anyway, this card cannot be chosen by affected opponents, but basically it's resist, but yeah. I guess, He's a 7k attacker, so he is quite small, but I guess his draw power kind of compensates for that, since this deck doesn't have a lot of draw power, so it does come in very handy. Try to pump him if you can. If you can't pump him while you stride, you always have other cards in this deck that can boost his power. For example, you're starting Vanguard. So yeah. Next, we're running 4 of this dude. What's his name? His name is. Oh god, he's a doozy to read. Izumi no Kami Kanesada, I think. Basically his skill is Shinken Hisatsu. So last one, when this card is boosted, during the you may pay the cost if you do during this battle. This card gets plus 3,000 power and a new ability. When this card during the end of the battle that's card attacked, you may choose a unit with Shinken Hisatsu and bounce it back to your hand. So basically he's the those Generation Break 1 cards that game affects when you boost them. He's kind of like that, except he doesn't have Generation Break 1. But yeah, basically you combo him with this guy to reuse his effect, since his effect gives power boosts, or P pumps power, which forms decent columns with this guy. So yeah, pretty good. Next, we're running 4 of this guy. He's basically just a 12k attacker, but he has a Shinken Nizatsu, so you can only use him as a 12k attacker after you have 3 damage. So yeah, I'm not gonna butcher his name too. So anyway, next we're running 2 of this very long-haired, majestic fellow. His name is Nikari Aoe, and he has a pretty cool ability. He has Shinken Hitsatsu, and the cost is to move him into Soul. When a grade 3 or less rearguard attacks, or for the Vanguard, when this, God, I haven't played this deck in a while, so forgive me. Skill is, when your grade 3 or less Vanguard attacks, yes, if your number of rest rearguards, you have is 3 or more, you can pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets plus 10,000 power and get 10,000 power into the end of the battle. So basically, you can sort of combo him with this guy. And then you can force more cards out of your opponent's hand, because it's pretty devastating, because it's pretty easy to get the 3 or more rested rearguards, since you can just go first I'm gonna attack with this column, and then attack with this column, and then you could just proc his ability off by moving him to Soul, and then this guy will get 10k power. He'll become a 21k attacker, so he'll be 27k. So he'll be attacking for quite a bit, and your opponent can't use grade 0s. So it's pretty cool, guys. There isn't a lot of grade 1s to use, or really viable grade 1s to use in this deck, because a lot of them requires other grade 1, like the Toshiro cards. Well, I'm not running those guys, so yeah. So next we're running 4 of this guy, Hirokawa Kuni Hiro. These names. His ability is Shinken Hitsatsu, counter loss 1. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, you may pay the cost if you do. Soul Charge 1, and this card gets plus 4,000 power until the end of turn. Basically, he will help you attack for big numbers. For example, if you play him in this column, you'll be hitting for 23, which is pretty good. Hitting in this column, you'll turn this crappy 14k column into a nice 18k column. So it's pretty good. He's a very versatile card. He's especially good if you combo him with this guy, because you can just reuse him. If you only use this effect once, he's not great. I guess it's okay, but it really depends. I guess you can just use him when you really need to finish your opponent off, or you want to force more guard for your opponent's hand with a column like that. So yeah. Anyway, next we're running 4 Stride Enablers. You want to run this in the deck because you'll be switching grade 3s a lot, or not a lot, but you'll be switching it an amount of times that you wouldn't want to not have grade 3s in your hand, because if you re-ride, that's less stride fodder you have in your hand. So running 4 is nice. And he also has the ability, he doesn't have a search ability like most Limit Break enablers, but he does have a nifty new ability. Its skill is move this card into a Soul. If you have a grade 4 above unit, give it 5,000 power and a new skill. MVP, Soul Charge, Soul Blast 1. When this card attack hits, you may countercharge 2. So it's a pretty cool ability, but it does contradict with some other card. Since you can use MVP once per turn, you might not want to use it with some of your other strides. Yeah, so basically, he's a pretty versatile card because he's a stride enabler and he has that pretty cool ability. Most of the time you'll be using it with something like this guy. Not this guy because he has MVP. So, yeah, continue on with the great ones. We have 4 perfect guards. Very sexy looking perfect guard. So, yes, these are perfect guard Gs. So, unslipping power. Next, we're running 4 of these special crits, 4 of the normal crits, so running 8 crits. This guy's ability is move this card into soul if your opponent attacks. If your Vanguard attacks and this unit is stand, you pay the cost if you do. Choose 2 front row rear guards, and they get plus 3,000 power. Draw a card and plus, get 2 units plus 3,000 power. So basically, front row units plus 3,000 power. So basically, he's pretty different from the previous ones because the previous double barrel triggers only give power to the specified unit, but since this guy doesn't have a specified unit, you can just give 3,000 power to 2 of your front row guys. So it's pretty cool. Helps out with the other, with this guy again. The main problem I'm not running 4 of this guy is because of his 7k, but you can deal with it. Next we're running 4 draw triggers. He also has a special ability, but we don't run the other card, I don't believe, so it doesn't matter. And then we're running 4 heal triggers. So, yeah, that's it for the main deck. Sorry, this deck was dragging on for quite a long while. But I actually playtest with this deck first, and then I playtest with my Gold Paladins. But since you guys wanted to see my Gold Paladins, I showed that first. But yeah, the last time I played with this deck was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so it's anyway. So next we're running for the G zone. We're running 2 of my my sword husbando. His name is Mikazuki Munechika, I think. His skill is Counterloss 1. Choose a copy. Choose a card in your G zone and flip face up. And during that turn, discard during this turn. This card gets plus 3,000 power for every face up. For every face up card on your G zone, yes. And you can choose a rear guard in your opponent's front row for each 2 face up cards in your G zone and retire it. If the number of face up cards in your G zone is 2 or more, this card gets an extra critical. So the good thing about this guy is that he doesn't require him to flip himself. So if this Shota dude doesn't hit, you can just flip copies of him, because you'll have excess copy of him, since if you don't hit, you'll have 3. And this is useless because you need to flip himself if you want to get his G persona lost off. So yeah, we're running 4 Hotaru Maru, and skill is MVP, so you only use 1 MVP ability every turn. Choose a copy of Hotaru Maru in your G zone and flip face up, and then choose 5 of rear guards and rest them. When this card attack hits the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, stand this unit, and this card gets drive -2 under another turn. So basically, he's a standing Vanguard. His cost is quite high because you need to rest 5 units, and you get a minus drive check. But I guess the good thing is that you don't have to discard. But I guess his -2 drive checks is yeah. Next, we're running 2 of this balding husbando. His name is Iwatushi. Toki. Skill is, once per turn, you may counterblast 1, G personalize himself. When this card, during this turn, this card gets a new ability. When this card attacks, you can attack your opponent's whole front row. So basically, he turns into a Vermilion Kaiser. He's pretty good against decks that can't recuperate from attacks like that. So that's what the main reason I'm running him. There's a lot of strides in this deck, or in this set, but mainly running this guy in 4 of these and then 2 of this because of yeah. There's not much else to say about it. A lot of times your opponent won't have Vanguards for you to kill if they're playing Shadow Paladins. So I guess he's not really useful then, but there's still times where you can outplay them while they're still trying to set up their field. You can just go, well, bam! Smash your emo knights with my Balding Husbando, and then, you know, do stuff. Also, if you have this, it makes this guy's power gain skill more useful, because a lot of times you're going to use him last, or okay, here's how I usually stride. If my opponent has not that many hand cards, I'll stride him first. Whoops, I mean him first, because if you get the hit off, you can just rest and then attack again. If my opponent has pretty annoying rear guards, I'll stride into him first. And then for my second stride, I'll either go into him or another one of him. Very rarely am I going to use this as my second stride, unless he sets up his field afterwards and he doesn't really have much hand. Then you might use him as a second stride. But yeah, so second stride is, yeah, but then third stride is usually almost always this guy, because your opponent will usually be exhausted of their hand by then, and then you just go, bam, crit to the face, he's dead. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. Sorry if it's pretty messy, but yeah, it's a pretty fun deck. Don't really recommend you to build this deck unless you really like Touken Ranbu, or if you really like men. I mainly built this deck because I just wanted to see how it played, and yeah, and not for other reasons, quote unquote. B-b-b-b-baka. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck profile, guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry I rambled for long enough, but I've been pretty tired recently, so, and I have a lot of things going on, so I have that's the reason I've been posting not so much. But the giveaway stuff will be the giveaway announcement will, I mean the game stuff will be announced probably after the 11th, so stay tuned for that. This is Cardfight, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!